What's the used seat Leon like? Chances are that if you asked people to name a medium-sized family hatchback, the seat Leon would be quite the way down their list. They might easily be able to roll off the names of cars such as the Ford Focus, Volkswagen Golf, and Vauxhall Astra, but for years the Leon has been a little off the public's radar. Considering how good it's always been and how much it undercuts its rivals on price, this is a real travesty of justice. This third-generation version is based, like the two before it, on the underpinnings of the Golf, and that alone has been enough to make it a very good car. It's not only shorter, lighter and roomier than the second-gen model, it's also more efficient and much better to drive. On the road, it feels sprightly, with distinctly sporty handling. And despite ride that errs on the firm side, it's comfortable, too. Inside, you'll find it well equipped and there's plenty of space for a family and all its paraphernalia. There's also an excellent range of engines to choose from, with petrols kicking off with a 1.2-liter unit and working up to a 296 bhp 2.0-liter Cupra version Flyer. In the middle sits our favorite, the 148 bhp 1.4-liter unit, which is smooth, powerful and economical, although a facelift in 2016 brought in a new 1.0-liter 3-cylinder engine that we would also recommend for its flexibility and economy. Diesel versions start with an astonishingly economical 1.6-liter engine, good for 70.6 miles per gallon in some models, then through the punchier 148 bhp 2.0-liter and up to a noticeably swift 181 bhp 2.0-liter unit. Make no mistake, the Leon is a fine car with nearly any of its various engine options, but we prefer the petrol models for their smoothness and flexibility. The 1.0-liter TSI 3-cylinder is reasonably lively and very economical, as well as being quite fun to drive. However, it can't quite compete with the 1.4-liter TSI 150 engine, which is responsive, powerful enough for most needs and, thanks perhaps to its cylinder deactivation technology, economical too. The diesels are even more economical, not surprisingly, but there's always a hint of gruffness to them and, unless your mileages are likely to be large, we err towards the petrol cars. As with the wide engine range, there are quite a few trim options, and the good news is that all of them are well equipped. Starting off with the entry-level S, you get aircon, a touchscreen infotainment system with a 5.0-inch screen and Bluetooth. We think it's worth stepping up to S-Seat technology, which brings 16-in alloys, cruise control, seat height adjustment, a DAB radio and an 8.0-inch touchscreen. However, our favorite trim is FR technology, which adds LED headlights, power folding mirrors, dual-zone climate control and parking sensors all round, as well as automatic lights and wipers. FR titanium and Xylence Tech trims add styling enhancements, which look good and are worth seeking out but not worth paying a premium for. A facelift in 2016 brought subtle styling changes and improvements in efficiency, as well as the 1.0-liter petrol engine. The most obvious rival might be the car on which so much of the Leon is based, the Volkswagen Golf. It's the archetypal small family car and the undisputed king of the hatchbacks. The Leon has an advantage here, though, in offering nearly everything the Golf does but at a greatly reduced premium. True, the Golf is better finished inside and has a slightly better ride and handling compromise, but there's little in it in everyday motoring, and the Leon has a distinct price advantage both new and used. The Leon might not have the cachet of the Golf, but you might think that a small sacrifice to make. The Ford Focus has always impressed us for its practicality nearly as much as it has for its driver appeal. That said, the most recent versions haven't impressed us quite as much as the earlier ones did, and the Leon and the Golf are both nicer cars to sit in and at least as nice to drive. The other cars that share the Leon's underpinnings are the Audi A3 and the Skoda Octavia. The A3 is a premium car that has a nicer interior and generally feels more classy. It is also a significant amount of money more than the Leon, so is perhaps not as much of a rival for the Leon as the Octavia. Although the Octavia is longer and more spacious than any of the other cars mentioned here, it is in more direct competition with its Volkswagen Group sibling. It is good to drive and wonderfully spacious. However, it has to be said that, perhaps surprisingly, model for model and age for age, the Octavia doesn't offer quite as much value as the Leon. It's smart and stylish, but it shouldn't cost a fortune to run. With a huge range of engine options and plenty available on the used market, you can take your pick of whichever one you prefer. We would bypass the older 1.2-liter petrol in favor of the 1.0-liter three-cylinder version, which is both more flexible and, at 64.2 miles per gallon and just 102 grams/km of CO2 emissions, more efficient, although this engine is only available on the post-2016 facelifted car. Our favorite engine is the 148 bhp version of the 1.4-liter petrol, which has a cylinder cutoff system that closes down two cylinders when it senses they're not needed in order to increase fuel economy, which is officially listed as 57.6 miles per gallon. The engine itself is a smooth and willing performer and, with it, the car is refined and economical. True economy lies with the diesels, especially the 70.6 miles per gallon 1.6-liter engine, although it can feel a little slow in certain situations. The tried and trusted 2.0 TDI engine is more than powerful enough and gives a claimed economy figure of 64.2 miles per gallon in some versions. Servicing is required annually or every 10,000 miles, and SEAT operates a service plan for used cars between 3 months and 8 years old. Here, you pay a fixed price of £21 for 18 months, which gives you 2 years or 20,000 miles of coverage. If you buy a car through SEAT's own finance, a 2-year service plan will cost you just £115. The standard warranty on a new SEAT is 3 years or 60,000 miles, although this can be extended at reasonable cost up to 5 years.